Hey everyone, Brandon here. Let's go ahead and dive into the second set of exercises where we can go ahead and create some fragments together using the Fragments Generator. So first what we need to do is we need to go ahead and install the Fragments Generator. If you don't already have NPM installed with Yeoman and Gulp, go ahead and check out Module 1 to get yourself set up on your computer, and then we can go ahead and just use this generator to create some new fragments. So you can see I already have my Liferay instance set up. I'm going to go ahead and open up my terminal here, and I'm going to open a new tab here, and I'm going to go ahead and install the Liferay Fragments Generator. So to do that, we can go ahead and type in npm install -g, and then it's going to be generator -liferay fragments, and then we're going to go ahead and specify version 1.x.x. So what this basically does is it allows us to say, hey, we know the Fragments Generator version 1 is what is used for Liferay 7.2, so we want to get the latest version of that major version of the Fragments Generator, and then in later versions we can do the same. So this is one way that we can manage the versions a little bit better for the different generators we can use for Liferay, depending on what version of Liferay you're using. So you can go ahead and hit enter there, and this is going to install our new generator. There is a small chance that you will need to run sudo with OS X, so keep that in mind. But this should give us everything we need to run the generator. We can go ahead and test it once it is installed. So I'm going to go ahead and just simply run yo. And what this is going to do is going to show me the generators that I have available to me. So I have the Liferay bundle and theme generators from module 1 and 2. And now we have the Fragments Generator as well. So you can go ahead and check that out. Make sure you have those generators. And then I'm going to go down here to where it says get me out of here. Now we want to go ahead and actually create a Livingston Fragments project. So we'll be able to create this and then deploy it to our platform. So to do this, I'm going to navigate to my Liferay folder. So I'm going to go to C Liferay, or user home Liferay in my case if you're on Windows, C Liferay. And then we're going to go ahead and run yo Liferay-fragments. And this is going to give us a set of questions that we can fill out in order to name and identify our project. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and name it Livingston Fragments. Hit enter. It's going to ask if we want to add sample content. We're going to say no. And there we go. We have our project ready for us. Now we need to go ahead and go to the Fragments project. So we're going to go ahead and start by navigating there in our terminal or command line. So let's go ahead and navigate to the Livingston Fragments. So that's what our project folder is going to be called. We want to go ahead and run npm run and then add-collection. This is going to add a collection for us. We need to give it a name. So this is going to be called Livingston Front Page. For the description, we can just type something like Livingston Front Page Fragments. If you want to do something more descriptive, feel free to do that, and we are good to go. So this gives us our collection. We can start adding our fragments in this new collection here. So if I run ls here, I can see what's in my new folder. We need to go to source, and then we can go ahead and go to our new Livingston Front Page collection. Let's go ahead and navigate to the source folder, and then we want to go ahead and navigate to the Livingston Front Page collection. So here we want to go ahead and run npm run and then add-fragment. I'm going to need to put in a fragment name here. I'm going to go ahead and name this 01-main-banner. It's going to ask me if I want this to be a section or a component. I'm going to go ahead and make this a component. It's going to ask me if I want to put this in an existing collection or a new collection. I'm going to go ahead and choose the Livingston Front Page collection there. So now that we have this created, I'm going to go ahead and open up my folder here, and I'm going to go to my Liferay folder. I have a number of projects here that I've worked on throughout the front-end developer course. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go into our Livingston Fragments, source, and then I'm going to go ahead and look at the Livingston Front Page collection, and we have our main banner. So let's go ahead and open up the index.html into Visual Studio Code, and this is going to be our main banner. What we're going to do is we're going to delete the sample code in the file. We're going to type in LFR, and we're going to choose the 6th snippet, beginning image div. This is going to give us just a basic image that we can work with as a background. And then we're going to hit enter and tab within the div, And we're going to type in LFR for the 7th snippet. So it's going to be add container. So this gives us a section here. We're just going to make this example real easy. This section gives us our basic container fluid classes as well as our column classes for responsive design. We're going to go ahead and open up this div as well. I'm going to type in LFR for that 8th snippet to get the banner heading. So we have the heading here, and then we need to go ahead and add in the lead text as well. So we can hit enter after this, type in LFR for the 9th snippet here. This will give us our basic P tag with the class lead. And then finally, we want to go ahead and add in some buttons here for discovering and booking. So we can go ahead and add the 10th snippet here for the banner buttons. Now, we're not focusing too much on building this out. You can, of course, type this out if you'd like. But what's important here that we want to do is we want to make sure that some of these elements are editable in the fragments. So we know that that's one of the benefits of our fragments. So we can make some of these elements editable, such as the title, the lead text, as well as the buttons themselves. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and start by making the text within this heading section editable. So we're going to go ahead and place our cursor before the text and after the opening H1 tag. And we're going to add a new tag here. It's going to be LFR-editable. We're going to go ahead and just close that off there. And I'm going to just simply move the closing editable tag to the end of the text here. Now within the editable tag, of course, I need to add an ID and a type. So what is the kind of editable field that we're looking at here? So for the ID, we're going to go ahead and call this one main title. And then for the type, I'm going to go ahead and make this text. So now this is editable. Let me go ahead and just expand this a bit. Makes it a little bit easier to read. So we have editable tag here. ID is main title, type text, and then we have the closing editable tag here as well. We want to do the exact same thing for the lead text here. So I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'm going to add an LFR editable tag. I'm going to go ahead and move this to the end of the sentence here. And then within my LFR editable tag, I'm going to go ahead and add an ID. So this is going to be body text. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and add my type, which once again is going to be text. So that is now editable. Now you'll notice I added the LFR editable after the period here, not the strong tag. So make sure that that is correct. And then the last thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and make sure that the buttons are editable. So those are here. We can do the exact same thing. We just want to go ahead and add the LFR editable tag with IDs for both of these as well as the type. Now these are all going to be typed text. It's going to be nice and easy. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and do LFR-editable. I'm going to close the tag off here so that I can move it to the other side of the text. And again, this is within the anchor tag here. For the ID, we're going to call this one first button. Nice and easy, right? And then for the type, we're going to go ahead and do text. And for this second button here, I'm just going to go ahead and actually just copy the first tag here. And I can even just copy the second tag here, just make it a little bit faster. Add that front there. And then the ID, I'm going to go ahead and update to second button. I can go ahead and save this nice and easy. So what this does is it allows me to have this fragment, and my marketing team or my content team or whoever's responsible for creating and updating the sites that this will live on are able to take the general structure of this, including the background image, and they're able to make sure to edit some of the text to fit their specific use case. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure to import this into Livingston Hotels and Resorts. So we're going to go ahead and come back to our terminal or command line. And in the Livingston front page folder, we're going to run npm run import. All right, we're going to accept the default localhost 8080. For your admin email here, I actually am Josiah Copeland at livingston.com. You may be test@liferay.com. You may be something else. Just make sure you have your admin email here. And my password is test. So it's going to check the connection, check to make sure we can actually deploy these, that we have the right admin access. And then for the company ID, we're going to go ahead and just run the default here. And then for the group ID, we will select the default as well. And it says that it's imported for us. So we can come back to our site. We can go ahead and go to Site Builder and Page Fragments. All right, and we should see our new Livingston Hotels and Resorts, the front page collection, as well as our main banner. And if you'd like, you can go ahead and open this up, and you can take a look at our new banner. So feel free to take a look at those bonus exercises. Otherwise, in the next section, we'll take a look at how we can control the layout of our widget pages. So I'll see you all in the next section.